Capitol Police being hailed heroes for ending that rampage that could have been a lot worse.
But as some Democrats have mentioned gun control in the first 24 hours, our next guest says they were sitting ducks as shots hit his aide and would have felt a lot safer if he were armed. Congressman Roger Williams coaches the Republican baseball team. He joins us along with that staff member, Zack Barth, who was shot in the leg yesterday. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And Congressman, if I may, let me start with Zack since he was shot. What happened, Zack?
So I was out in the outfield shagging fly balls, hear a loud pop, and everything stops. Time slows down, and I'm wondering what's going on. Then I hear somebody, they scream out, "He's got a gun, run." And at that point, I see the shooter. He's got a long gun. He's at the third base dugout, just taking deliberate aim at me, at members of Congress, and I hightail it to right field. There's nowhere for me to go. There's no gate or anything, so I do the best thing I can. I get on the ground, make myself the smallest target possible, and then I see him turn his gun towards me.
Oh my gosh.
And it just starts popping all around me. He hits me in my leg. And at that point, you know, my adrenaline is pumping, and my fight or flight reflexes, they take control. And I decide if I want to live, I need to get to better cover. So I sprint down, you know, running for my life, sprint down the first base line into the dugout, and I just jump in, and I jump into the arms of the congressman, and we stay there. And I was bleeding a little bit. And I wasn't really concerned about that. I was just concerned about staying alive. So I was keeping my head down, keeping the congressman's head down, and we were just trying to make it through. We didn't really know what was going on. It was chaos, but thank the Lord for, you know, Officers Bailey and Griner. You know, without them, I might not be talking to y'all.
And Congressman, one of the most amazing things was you describing the story yesterday, and you're talking about Zack, and he's saying he's bleeding, and he was also texting at the same time.
Well, you know how this younger generation is. They can do different things at different times, I guess. But look, at Zack as a hero, and our Capitol Police are the heroes. If they had not responded as they did, I don't think anybody would have made it through. All we had was balls and bats to fight this guy. And so it was not a good situation. And I was hitting ground balls over on the third base side, and did not know he was even behind me. We were probably 20 feet away or 20 yards. I then went around to hit ground balls to Steve Scalise, and when I hit the ground ball, the first one, we heard the pop, as Zack talked about, and I turned, and the only place I could think of was the first base dugout, and the dugout's about 6 feet in the ground. It's a real dugout, and I just dove head first into that dugout, and all of a sudden there I was with Jeff Flake and Mo Brooks, and then out of nowhere comes Zack running. He'd been hit, and he just, as he said, jumped into my arms, and we held each other. Mo Brooks took his belt off and gave it to Flake and myself to create a tourniquet to try to slow the blood down. And we just were so thankful once we saw the Capitol Police begin to return their fire and eventually stop. It was an unbelievable moment.
Yeah, Congressman, 24 hours ago there were reports that you had been injured, and you were jumping in, right?
Yeah, I jumped in this dugout. It was like jumping in a swimming pool with no water. Mm-hmm. And I went in and, of course, didn't realize that I'd hurt my ankle and my leg and so forth. But I did have an injury, and I'm going to fly back to Texas tonight after the game and get it fixed up, and I'll be ready to go again.
Zack, what was going through your mind when you said you saw the shooter turn the gun at you? I'm thinking, oh, my word. What's going through your mind? Are you praying? And how excruciating was the pain? I'm wondering, how were you able to run to the dugout?
Yeah, I was absolutely praying. You know, I'm a man of faith, and that's something that is really a central part of my life. So I was, you know, praying for safety, praying, you know, just praying. And what was going through my mind was just to try to get out of that situation. You know, I was a sitting duck out there. I mean, we're on a flat baseball field, no cover. There was a 20-foot gate, and I didn't know that I could scale that with my leg. But I didn't really feel much. My adrenaline was pumping, and at that point, instincts take over.
Where were you hit?
I was hit in the left calf.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, you know, it was a burning sensation. I looked down, I saw blood flowing out of there, but you know, thankfully, it just kind of tore through the meaty part of my calf. It was in and out, and I was able to run on it. thank goodness.
Did you call your family and say, Mom, Dad, brother, sister, whoever, I've been shot?
Yeah.
What was their
absolutely.
reaction?
They're shocked, but they were glad to hear. I told them I'm okay. The police are here. I'm safe. I'm going to be okay. And they love me. And my dad flew up as soon as he heard the news. So it's great to have that community around me. And I had so many people praying for me. In my community up here on Capitol Hill, in my community in Houston. Just to have everybody supporting me and lifting me up, that's exactly what I needed. And it's in trying times like that people really show their true colors.
Well, you were treated and released, and today you're back at work. We're glad you're better. And Congressman, thank you very much.
We have a game to play tonight, so I hope everybody watches or comes to it.
I got a feeling
or donate.
Everybody's going to be watching.
And if they can't, they should donate, right?
They should donate and hopefully raise over $1 million tonight.
I think you're going to do a little better than that. All right, Congressman and Zack, thank you very much for joining us and telling us your story.
Thank you.